When I first started high school, I was a pretty normal kid, I'm going to be honest, but pretty bland as well. I didn't do much outside of school, and I didn't do too much in. But it's that lack of anything that enabled the rise of porn in my life. I would have been 13 when I first got fully into it. And I can tell you right now, it was not good for me. But you don't need me to tell you that, you know. Porn is one of the worst things that could happen to you. One of the worst things that you could indulge in, that you can simply consume. It'll always start small, and then it will progressively worsen. If you're fresh on it right now, my best advice is to get off it. But if you're deep into it, then it's time to pull the plug. Just simply. It's going to make your life worse. And it's going to make it harder to socialise. Harder to be a person. Which is a bit ironic, isn't it? Because we all seek it because we want to be more of a man. But still, since I fully got lost into that addiction, I have not been as confident as I was before it. You always see those people who are, not afraid of social anxiety. I was almost like that. Back in year 7, back in year 6. But when year 8 turned around and I got lost in the sauce, I completely changed. I was not as confident. I hated talking to people. I was always stuck inside my mind. I could never break beyond that. Always overthinking, always over-analysing the smallest things. Like how I sat, if my shirt looked a bit see-through, if I looked confident. Those were genuine concerns, thoughts that would run rings in my mind day in, day out. And it took a lot to finally get rid of those thoughts. But I'm here to tell you it's worth it. But there's one other side effect of porn that I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about today. That is it making things up in your head. This is not just like fantasies or whatever. This is how people perceive you. These are thoughts that your brain generates, thinking people see you as less. Yeah. Imagine 3 embarrassing things you've done. Right, literally anything. It could be when you were 6 all the way to when you were literally, however old you are now, right? Anywhere between that. Literally anything. Imagine 3 embarrassing things someone close to you has done. It's going to take a lot longer to think of those, isn't it? Better yet, you might not even be able to think of 3. Maybe 1, maybe 2. But that is how people think of you, right? No one spends so much time hyper-analysing you. Everyone, especially in high school, this is extremely true for high school. Everyone is focused inwards. No one is looking outwards. No one is looking at other people. They are so stuck in their heads. Right? Better yet, there might be a very small chance, there might be a chance that the person you thought of that saw you do something embarrassing is watching this at the same time you are. Probably not at the same time, and they thought of you and they couldn't name anything about you. Just the same that you couldn't name anything about them, right? We just cannot pick out what other people have done because we were stuck inward. This is not a highly philosophical thing. This is the effect of porn. It creates a spotlight effect in our heads that we are the center of attention 24/7. that we are constantly there, right? That is what porn does. And it's genuinely ruining. It is horrendous how it plagues our minds. In year 8, in year 9 and year 10, that is supposed to be the golden years of high school, right? Like the direct middle. And I spent it afraid people could see me, right? Isn't that crazy to think? We spent high school afraid we would get noticed. One small addiction that I don't know about you, but I was told it was healthy and to go crazy. Ruined my years of high school. It wasn't until year 10, midway through, that I fully broke through. And here I am now, completely off it. And as advice to anyone, it's a long process. But so is hiking a mountain. But the end point of either is worth every second. I will always be proud of the progress I made, but that is besides the point. The point is, we have had our lives ruined by porn. And we can either complain about it, or we can man up and do something. But an actionable step I'm going to give you today is not just about porn, it's not just about nofap, because that takes time. Go up to somebody you know witnessed an embarrassing moment. One of the three I asked you earlier, whether that's so extreme that it causes anxiety or just something pretty minor. Go up to anyone who witnessed it, probably a close friend, and just ask them, oh, you remember that one time I did, that? If they say, yeah, I remember, that was hilarious, so what? They already knew. But if they say, I don't remember what you're talking about, would you feel better about that? That they don't even remember? Because they don't care, right? And you need to remember as well, you don't have to care. Of course, don't go fully insane, but still, no one is always watching you, so don't always watch yourself. Only when it comes to social settings, right? Because it gets a bit iffy outside of that. So yeah.